That's strange. The door's wide open, and not a single guard posted. This is not the Lady Harriman I remember. There is something very wrong in here.
More! You lazy son of a bitch! What's taking so long?
Flora?
Why does no one in this house care what I want? More wine, or I swear I will drown you in the dregs.
She doesn't even see us. This is no normal wine.
More logs. It must be molten. You, more coins. I want every scrap of gold in this house.
Please, monsieur!
There's nothing to fear. You'll be beautiful. Pour it over her.
Don't! You'll kill her! He can't hear me.
Perhaps I should be the one.
We must end this madness. I visited this house often as a child. They could not have concealed such goings-on.
Oh, lower. Lower!
I beg your pardon, Hawk. I did not mean to expose you to such things.
No apologies necessary.
What are they even doing? The Thalanast!
No, the feather. Use the feather. Where have you been all my life? Today, I am more than a man. Come. Felicitate me.
That's a great line. I should use that. Oh, I could get it embroidered on my blouse.
He has no idea we're here. I've known Ruxton Harriman my whole life. He's a complete prude.
That's my kind of prude.
Where's your brother? Let's ask him to join us.
I can help with that.
About a man with big hands. Now, you be the naughty apprentice, and I'll be the Templar torturer. You know what they say about a man with big hands.
There is nothing here for you.
You're not in a strong negotiating position.
You shall not enter.
Demons, temptresses. We must see what greater evil they were protecting. A ruin, so close to Hightown. I remember no such thing. In the shadows!
fist. You to rest. Must finish this. You to rest. Must finish this. Go down! Keep this up! Must fit! Can't keep this up!
I can handle that.
You're such a slave driver.
Starkhaven will not submit. I put that idiot Goran Vale into the prince's seat, but the other families won't heed him. I must marry him to Flora and solidify our hold. But I need more power.
I've given you much. Your desires run deep. You've already traded your husband and your children. What more can you offer?
Your plot ends here.
Who is this? Who are you? How did you get here? Sebastian!
You were my mother's friend. How could you murder her?
Such an ugly word. I prefer remove the only obstacle between her and her dreams.
This was your idea.
I could create such desires if I wished. But it's far easier to nurture those that already exist. The desire for power is easy to find. You and your friend both possess it, do you not? You both wish to rise.
Are you offering a deal?
You shouldn't deal with her, Hawk. Look what she's done here. She'll turn on you too.
A deal? With you? What have you to trade other than ambition too large for your grasp? Bring me the loyalty of 2 cities. Then perhaps you will be worthy of notice.
Do not listen to her.
Oh, such a pious soul, masking so much ambition. Are you so different from my lady? You yearn for the same lands, the same power.
I am the rightful heir. She is a usurper and murderer.
You swore to put aside worldly goods and ambitions, but they couldn't stop you from wanting them.
You and Lady Harriman are fighting for the same thing, aren't you?
Regaining my birthright is hardly the same as stealing it from another.
But you want it. You had resigned yourself to letting your brother rule. Yet now, that seat glitters before you. You've always wanted it. You needn't deny it any longer. All you have to do is kill anyone in your way.
Let us return to the Chantry. I must pray for Lady Harriman's soul. Let us return to the Chantry. I must pray for Lady Harriman's soul.
Sebastian, I am so sorry is such an inadequate word. When I think what Mother made us do, what those creatures made us do.
We were friends, Flora.
It was like a cloud came down on me. All I could feel or think was what the demon allowed.
Was your mother a mage? How did she find this demon?
We've never had magic in our line. Perhaps that made Mother too confident. She thought she could deal with the demon and not fall prey to it. Those ruins there were unearthed when we expanded the house. Mother found the demon inside. I think she had signed her bargain before we even knew.
Did your mother order the attack on Sebastian's family?
She did. You know Mother, Sebastian. She was always jealous of your parents. The demon twisted that until it was all she could think of. She was determined to seize Starkhaven for herself.
They're all dead. Your mother, too.
My mother has not existed for some time. What died today was only a puppet of the demon. If it takes every last coin my family owns, I will make reparations to everyone we've wronged. Starting with you, Sebastian. We weren't the only ones vying for Starkhaven. If you face more opposition, you have my support.
It will not make up for what happened.
No, that's true.
I'll tell you when I need you. Is this getting you any closer to your ship?
Huh?
I just don't understand why you're working with Hawk. You don't seem to care about anything we do. What's keeping you here?
Mostly the sex. Hawk's an absolute tiger between the sheets. I mean, all night, every night. Oh, cute, you're blushing.
There are still many...
I used to be like you know.
You used to be a woman?
No.
That explains a lot.
My family put me in the Chantry because I was giving them a bad name. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. I found peace. I found a purpose. Before I came here, I used to be out to all hours. Drinking, whoring. I didn't believe in anything except my own pleasure.
Why couldn't I have met you then?
I had hoped prayer might cleanse me of the Desire Demon's touch, but I still hear her voice so clearly. I feel like I've bathed in filth that will never come off.
The Harrimans won't stand against you. Will you ride back to Starkhaven now?
I don't know. Flora said others are still vying for the title. I should find out who before I charge in blindly. In truth, I can't feel as righteous as I did before. I keep asking myself, do I want this because it's right? Or simply to have what I never thought I could?
Aren't you your parents' heir?
I'm the youngest son of 3. My parents were rather traditional. They wanted the heir and the spare, and I was left in the cold. They put me in the Chantry to prevent my competing with my brothers.
You seem very dedicated to the Chantry. You were put there against your will?
At first. But it was the best thing that could have happened. I was a wild boy, a shame to my family. The Chantry made me a man. It's odd. When I wanted to rule, I would have been terrible at it. Now that I might be decent, I don't know if it's the right thing to do.
Don't let the demon make you doubt yourself.
In trying to retake Starkhaven, I have already brought death to so many. Could I ever do enough good as Prince to justify that?
Would you stand aside and let someone else claim what your family fought and died for?
I know you've done great things in Kirkwall, Hawk. I imagine your methods haven't always been scrupulous. But you clearly do more good than harm. I just don't know if I can follow that road.
I think this is yours.
My grandfather's bow, but where did you get it?
One of the Flint Company mercenaries had it.
Thank you. It's hard to mourn the loss of a thing while my family lies dead. But I did think of it.
What's the story behind that bow?
As the youngest son, it was my place to lead Starkhaven's militia. But I never had a talent for swordplay. Too much getting hit. My grandfather said the bow is the wise man's weapon. You can defend your city without opening its gates. Grandfather said the day I could pull the string on his bow, it would be mine.
Then why didn't you have it with you?
I was 13 when my grandfather made me that promise. I would rise at dawn to practice my shots until I could hit the eye slit of a helmet from the top of the ramparts. But my parents pledged me to the Chantry before I could show him.
Were you and your grandfather close?
He was a man of the world, Prince of Starkhaven. But he had the most unshakable faith in the Maker. When my parents threatened to pledge me to the Chantry, he told me he'd gladly trade his title for a life of contemplation. The Maker ordained a place for each of us, I remember him saying. We have only to serve.
Think of them with every arrow you fire to retake your land.
Yes, this will be a fitting weapon to carry against the usurpers. Thank you for thinking of me, Hawk.
so you freed a group of slaves.
Would-be slaves. They weren't slaves yet.
Still, you did the right thing. Many would turn a blind eye.
Don't read too much into it, all right? It just seemed a good idea at the time.
Emmerich, you've been bothering the captain.
I've spent the past few years continuing my investigation into the murders of Ninette, Marin, and the other women. I believe I finally have a suspect. A man called Gascard Dupuis.
If you know he's guilty, do something about it.
Ah, and here we get to the crux of the matter. I cannot lay a finger on Dupuis. When I became convinced of his guilt, I went to the city guard and demanded that they do something. The guards raided his mansion and found nothing. They were forced to apologize, and I was reprimanded. Meredith forbade me from continuing my investigation. But she didn't say I couldn't seek outside help.
Were you the only person investigating these murders?
Yes, unfortunately. The Templar Order believes this is a matter for the City Guard. And the City Guard, well, they rejected my evidence and dismissed the murders as isolated incidents. They don't care either. Women are dying out there, and no one's doing anything.
I retrieved a sack of human remains for you. Didn't you show it to the guard?
I did. They said the remains could have been gathered together by scavengers looking for bits of gold and jewelry. They said there was no way to tell if the remains even belonged to the missing women. I had no choice but to continue the investigation on my own.
What have you learned about Gascard Dupuis?
He's a reclusive nobleman who's rarely seen outside his estate in Hightown. He knew 2 of the murdered women and made inquiries about the others. It cannot be a coincidence.
You're seeing connections where none exist.
Gascard Dupuis is hiding something. I'm convinced of it.
What have you learned about Gascard Dupuis?
It cannot be a coincidence. Gascard Dupuis is hiding something. I'm convinced of it.
No one else believes you, why should I?
Because you saw the sack of bones. You found Ninette's hand. You can't tell me there's nothing to this. What if one of the women who died was someone you loved? If Gascard Dupuis is guilty, he must be stopped before he kills again.
We should help him. No one else will.
I'm not making any promises.
I'll take whatever help I can get. You'll need to go to Gascard Dupuis' estate after nightfall. Please figure out what Dupuis is hiding. If he's innocent, find evidence to prove me wrong. It's just that simple.
If you're here to see Karen, it's not worth the effort. Wilmot, Karen and I were close once, and now Wilmot's dead. Karen kidnapped, then discharged from the Order.
Is there a point to your belly aching?
You're right. There's something I'd like to do. I've heard his family is in deep with a Tevinter moneylender near here, Sinestra the Snake. Karen's father is too proud. His children don't even know. If I were rich enough, I'd pay off the debt myself. But there is an alternative.
And I take it this alternative involves me. Go on.
Sinestra, by all accounts, is a cancer on our most downtrodden. Make her preserve me, but I believe the world would be a better place without her. If you help Karen, I vow I'll send you what coin I have. I must go. We have no scheduled appointments at this time, apprentice.
I heard Savurin place the order for me to be made tranquil. My path of my harrowing, he can't do that.
You're looking well. My store is much better stocked, thanks to you. If you're interested in hunting down more ingredients, I can make other creations. And of course, I'll pay you for your work.
Sure. Just let me know what you need.
Perfect. I have a list of ingredients right here. Welcome back to Souls, my friend.
Intriguing. People talk about the circle like it's a prison. It's no different than anywhere in Thedas.
Can't keep the lyrium on the docks. Maybe dump it in the sea?